In a land far away, nestled high in the snowy mountains, there lived a very special bear named Snowflake. Unlike most bears with thick brown or black fur, Snowflake was pure white, blending perfectly with the snow that covered the mountains all year round. His fur sparkled like freshly fallen snow, and his eyes gleamed with the blue of a winter sky. Snowflake was a curious and adventurous bear. He loved to explore the mountains, making friends with the animals who lived there. From the wise old owl who nested in the tallest pine tree to the playful snow hares that hopped through the snowdrifts, Snowflake was loved by all. But there was one part of the mountains he had never visited, the peak of the Great Ice Mountain. The Great Ice Mountain was the tallest and most mysterious place in all the land. Stories were told of a hidden cave at the summit, filled with sparkling crystals that glowed like the stars. But the journey was dangerous, with steep cliffs, deep snow, and strong winds. No one had ever been brave enough to reach the top. One crisp winter morning, as Snowflake was playing with his friend, Frost the snow hare, he said, "Frost, I've decided. I'm going to climb the Great Ice Mountain and find the hidden cave." Frost's eyes grew wide. "But Snowflake, the mountain is dangerous. No one has ever made it to the top. What if you get lost or trapped in a snowstorm?" Snowflake smiled confidently. "I've been practicing my climbing skills and learning about the mountain from Owl. I know it's a big adventure, but I believe I can do it. And if I find the cave, imagine how beautiful it will be." Frost hesitated, but then nodded. "You're the bravest bear I know. Just promise you'll be careful." Snowflake packed a small bag with some berries and nuts, wrapped himself in a warm scarf, and set off on his adventure. As he climbed higher and higher, the air grew colder, and the wind whispered secrets of the mountain in his ears. Snowflake pressed on, his white fur camouflaging him against the snowy landscape. After a while, he reached a steep cliff. Snowflake knew this would be a challenge, but he had practiced his climbing and was determined to succeed. With powerful paws, he carefully found footholds in the ice and climbed up. The wind howled around him, but Snowflake kept going, never looking back. At last, he reached the top of the cliff and stood on a narrow ledge. Below him, the world looked like a sea of white. He was almost at the summit now, but the path was treacherous. The snow was deep, and the wind was stronger than ever. Snowflake could barely see where he was going. Just as he began to doubt himself, he spotted a faint glow in the distance. His heart leaped with excitement. It was the hidden cave. He hurried toward the light, and when he finally reached the cave's entrance, he gasped in amazement. Inside the cave, the walls were covered in sparkling crystals, each one glowing with a soft, gentle light. The crystals reflected off the snow, filling the cave with a magical, warm glow. Snowflake felt a sense of wonder and peace, knowing he had found something truly special. As he explored the cave, Snowflake discovered a small pool of clear water at its center. He bent down to take a drink, and as his reflection shimmered in the water, he noticed something incredible. The crystals in the cave were shaped like tiny stars, and their light seemed to dance across the walls, telling stories of ancient times. Snowflake realized that this cave was not just beautiful, but it held the history and secrets of the mountains. He knew he had to share this discovery with his friends, so they could all protect this magical place. With a heart full of joy, Snowflake began his journey back down the mountain. The way back was still challenging, but Snowflake felt stronger and braver than ever. When he finally returned to his forest home, his friends gathered around to hear his tale. As Snowflake told his story, the animals listened in awe. They were amazed by his courage and the beauty of the hidden cave. From that day on, Snowflake became known as the bravest bear in all the mountains. And though he continued to explore and have adventures, the memory of the Great Ice Mountain and its sparkling cave always held a special place in his heart. And so, Snowflake the white bear lived happily, his days filled with adventure, wonder, and the love of all his friends in the snowy mountains.